OOPS concepts. Okay, OOPS concepts and methods. Okay, I'll see that. Very comfortable. Very good. Okay, what are OOPS? Used to program, okay, registered customers. Am I clear? Am I clear? Any place. Okay, so any place registered customers are allowed with the help of objects. Yeah, OOPS concept, very clear. Okay, I believe OOPS clear, right? OOPS in the sense object-oriented programming, where we can handle the registered customers. Okay, we can understand that. Okay, email customers are programmable using OOPS. Same thing. Okay, so customers in a bank are programmable using OOPS. Anyone? Okay, right. Here C#.NET is pure OOPS. Okay, so we have different types are there. Okay, so types in C#. Okay, so what are the types? Types are used to clear the objects. Okay, types are used to create objects. Okay, what are the available types? Available types in C#. You have available types like struct is a type, class is a type, interface is a type. Am I clear? Enum is a type. Any type which is used to create any object, those types are called as OOPS. Okay, I mean those types are called as types. Okay, so types are used to create the objects. .NET support following objects. What are those? Structures, classes, interfaces, enumerator. Okay, so what is the structure? Used to create user-defined type. Okay, what is a class? It is also same. It is also used to create. So by default structures are public. Okay, classes are something called as internal. Okay, so what is interface? Interface, it is a class. It is a type contains only concrete, I mean abstract methods. Okay, enum, it contains only constant types. Okay, it contains only the constant types. Let's see this. We'll see the parameters and all after completing the OOPS concepts. Okay, so .NET supports different types of OOPS. Okay, enumerator types. Okay, see this is the enum type in .NET where I can have multiple types. I can program them easily. I can have the structure. Structure is one of the types supported in .NET. We can have different types like datestamp, datetime, timestamp, etc. Okay, so we can create static structures also. We can create the structure and we can have some static variables. Okay, built-in classes are there like string, math, regex, etc. Built-in structures are there, datetime, timestamp, etc. Okay, datetime is used for declaring the objects. Okay, so regex is one of the existing classes. We can see that one. Okay, now how to create classes in .NET? Create class in C#. Simple class name, curly braces. Okay, how to create object? Class name, obj equal to new class name, like this. Clear? Coming to a small example, we'll have a small example here. I would like to have a class called as a count class, where I am having something called as a private integer count. Okay. So what I am trying to do is, I'll be declaring an object for the counter class. Okay, two-wheeler is equal to new counter. Okay, so this is what exactly a class creating object, and how to create a parameter for that one, how to send the data. There are many ways. You have the constructors. If one more out. Clear. Okay. So think that I want to send what type of vehicle it is. Think that I have a private in type of the vehicle. So the counter class is going to be storing number of vehicles and type of the vehicle. Okay. So to provide the type of the vehicle, I'm using public. Okay. Counter class which specify the count. Okay. Here I'm writing this count is equal to count. Okay, so what do you mean by this count is equal to count? This is a keyword. Okay, generally we know that. Okay, this keyword refers to current object. Okay, the same thing I have used over here. These concepts are very clear. We will continue in a few minutes. Okay. Okay. So this is a simple example here. I'm writing something called two. What I mean to say is it's a two-wheeler. So you can understand it's a parameterized constructor. Okay. And for example, if you want to send the data using the objects, you'll be using the message passing. So what is message passing refers to? Passing data from one object to another. Okay, message passing data from one object to another object. Okay, you can say that sending an email, okay, is a message passing. Okay, fund transfer is a message passing. How it can be done? You have to use this. For example, here I'm using public void get count. Okay, here I'm writing CW, okay, pillars count is, so type is count is. If you are able to see this, CW dot get count. Now if you are able to see this, two-wheeler get count is 2, 0 wheelers. Okay, here I'm looking what it is type. Integer type, integer count. So I'll give you a small example here which covers everything. Okay, now it's got this. So you'll be getting, I mean to say that there are 20 vehicles parked in the, okay, two-wheelers category, 30 vehicles. Okay, this is what exactly, one second, why can some other error is coming? Right. Okay, two-wheelers count is 30. One more out. Very basic concepts. Okay, so and then basic concepts you don't want, right? Then we'll see that what are the different type of parameters. Okay, so anyhow, we'll see that. You know this one? Method, it's a function existing Edurekas. Okay, parameterized methods. Okay, a method can have following type of parameters. Okay. Out parameter, ref parameter, okay, and value parameter, and params parameter. Okay, when you work with a method, okay, in C#, a method is going to be existing with different parameters. Even this one you are aware. Okay, first one is value parameter. If you don't have, it's a default type. Okay, default. Okay, default type in the sense use it to carry value to the definition. Okay, called as value type. Okay, you need not specify. No keyword is there. That is called as a value type. Okay, value type. One second, value type. Yeah. Okay, so method can have different parameters. Default type, reference type, params type, out type. Okay, so default type is nothing but a value parameter. Original value will be sent here. Reference in the sense which is similar to call by reference concept in your C, C++. Original value will be updated. Params in the sense it's a type of the parameter introduced where we can have any number of parameters. Any number of parameters. Out parameter in the sense sending the value from definition to the caller. Okay. So someone else said a method is having 4 parameters. First one is default value, out parameter reference. What is out parameter? Okay, use it to send reference from definition to caller. Definition to caller. Okay, so reference in the sense use it to send reference to the method definition. Okay, finally we have a params. We'll explain this. Okay, params use it to send multiple arguments. You can say unlimited. Let's see a small example. There is a static method also. I can use a static method. Okay, I'll be using a definition called private static, or you can say public static. Okay, integer square. Okay, integer square. I'm using void square integer a comma integer b. So here I'm writing a into equal to a, b into equal to b. Okay, this is what exactly value type. By default, when I don't specify, here I'm writing integer a equal to 5 comma b equal to 9. CW. Here I'm writing a is equal to a value followed by b is equal to b value. So this is called as value type. Am I clear? This is called as value type. What happens if you call the definition? Might be. Let's find out. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So this is what exactly value type. Now what I'm trying to do is square of a comma b. Okay. Now again same thing. First one 5, 25 and 5 and 9. Second one also 5 and 9 you'll be getting. Why? Because this is by default called as call by value type. See, this is value type. Original will not be affected. Am I clear? Original will not be. See, when you say A and B, A will be sent here, B will be. See, integer A, integer A. This integer A is different and this integer is different. So what happens here, you know, it creates a duplicate. So duplicate is updating and original is not going to be affecting. Am I clear? So this is called as value type.
Okay.
Understand? Yeah, execute. You can say it's a value type. A is equal to 5, B equal to 9. This is a value type. Okay. Now what is my question is, I want to get the updates affected if you do any modifications. So what we need to do is, in this ref A, ref B, ref, ref. What is ref, you know? It's going to be sending the reference. Ref integer A, ref integer B. Am I clear? Now what happens here? Understand? Tell me.
Kiran, what if you just put a return value there instead of reference?
Yeah, very good question. Return can return a single value. To get that question only, I used a square function with 2 parameters. See, I want 2 value for square value for 2. Understand? So, function returning can do 1 value, but my requirement is what? I want to square 2 values in a short. So, you need to have only the concept called as a reference. See? Understand? So the reference call by value is used to carry the value from main to function, whereas reference is used to update the original. Clear? So this is the advantage related to your what will be called again Abhinit joined twice. What will be called method parameters are there. First one we have seen value parameter. Second one is reference parameter. Now the third one is we have out parameter. See, what is the use of out parameter? See, use it to send value from definition to the caller. Am I clear? Use it to send value from definition to the caller. Okay. And what is the scenario? Real-time example. Okay, initialize value from definition. Am I clear? Initialize value from definition. I can tell you a small example here. See here, I'm selling a product. Okay, see here. Here I'm writing integer, something like this. String product is there. Think that some example is there. Okay. And integer price is there. See here, now product is equal to something. For what will be called some example I'm writing, product can be something, iPhone 5. Now what is my question, what is the price? Okay, see I'm writing get price. Price. Am I clear? So this is my question. Okay, public static get the price. Okay, integer price. What is the question? Okay. Yeah, I was muted the screen here. Now it's fine. Okay. Yeah. Now you'll see the change. Okay. See here. My question is what? Integer price. Okay. See here. Now what is my question is, I want to get the price from the definition. Now here I'm writing price is equal to something called $400. Right? Now I can say console.writeLine price. Let's see the example. Must have written value. I don't want to have. What is this? Unassigned use. I don't know. Okay. So what is this? Here I see. Okay. What is the problem? Integer price. Use of honest. I'll be using this, right? Now what is my question is, I want to get the value from the definition. I want to get the value from the definition. Okay. See, this example is very, very important here. Okay. This concept is really good, very, very important. Here I'm writing. Okay. So how to use this? You will be using this out parameter. Right. Let's see this example. See guys, if you are able to see this example, in this example, the price is coming from the definition. Screen doesn't change. Guys, just see this example here. It's a very good concept here. I took something called, I want to know the price. Later we'll see what is a product and all. I want to get the price from the definition. So my definition is having a price. Okay, so the value should be coming from the definition, not like returning a value. So whenever you want to get a value from the definition to the caller, then you will be using the out parameter. So out in the sense, at the call place it can be empty. So it's empty in the call place, but definition is going to be fetching the value. So this is possible with the help of the price. Am I clear? Okay. Yeah. What is the doubt? Yeah. What happens when you write private? Nothing will happen. Private in the sense it will be accessible in the same place. See, there is no change for private. Private, no change. No change. Okay. I'll tell you. So private in the sense can be accessible in the same class itself. Public in the sense can be accessible in the outside also. Now even if you can remove this, if you remove this, what happens? It will become internal, even though it works. Okay. So private in the sense can be accessible in the same class only. Public in the sense can be accessible in the same class and outside of the classes. We'll explain that one also. There are something access modifiers. Let's see this. You can expect the initialization from somewhere else. Now integer is a variable, price is a variable which doesn't have any value. This value we are getting from the definition. Now what is my question is, I can get the value anytime. See, I am a person who is selling a value, but the selling price I'm getting from some other place. That is possible with the help of this one. Now I can write a condition. Okay. For example, I'm taking integer hour. Okay, is equal to datetime dot now dot hour. So this will give you the system hour. Now the system hour is 11 p.m. It's around approximately 23. Okay, 23. Now here what happens? Here I'm writing if hour. Okay, if hour less than 12, I want to give the price as 400. Else, if hour less than 18, I want to give the price is equal to $300. Okay, else I want to give the price equal to $250. Now what happens, you know, the value is going to be definition coming from the definition. See, 250 as per this. Now we can understand that if you this auto parameter helps you to initialize the value from the definition. Now this variable has been initialized from this definition. So this feature is called as out parameter. Okay, so at definition in the call place, the variable may not have any value. This value is going to be getting from definition. So out is used to get the value from the definition. Okay, out is mainly used in initializing the variables. Okay, so out type is used to initialize. Out type is used to initialize variables. Am I clear? Yeah. One more out. Who's that? Difference between ref and out. Yes. Reference need a value. You need to have reference need a value. Reference need a value at call place. Okay. Whereas out doesn't read. Okay. Out sends value to the call place. Am I clear? Okay. Reference need a value in the sense place. Now here I cannot have empty for the reference. Now it is empty. If you are able to see this, this is empty. Okay, the value is empty. The variable is empty. Okay, reference must be initialized. Okay, out parameter can be empty. Okay, now you can say this. The out parameter value is empty. Okay, whereas reference must initialize. Okay, reference must carry. Okay, reference must carry the value, whereas out should not contain a value. Okay, for example, I want to establish a connection. So I'm giving a string and I'm asking to give the credentials. So I can do it using the out parameters. Out parameters are very, very important to initialize. Okay, out parameters for initialization, references are already initialized. Okay, these are the three different parameters. Let's come into the fourth one. What is the fourth parameter? Ref parameter. Ref parameter in the sense used to send, sorry, it's not ref here, fourth parameter is params. Used to send any number of arguments. Use it to send multiple arguments to the definition. For example, I hope you understand this example, right? I'll copy this example. Copy this. Yeah, out parameter. Okay. What is this params? Params in the sense you can have one parameter which can take any number of arguments. Params is a parameter which can take any number of arguments. Let's see this. I want to display addition of numbers. Let's see here. I can say like this. Okay. Here I have a static something called integer addition. If I take integer a comma integer b, what do you mean by this one? I can display the sum of two numbers. That's it. I cannot display the more than that. Am I clear? But my question is, I would like to have addition with two parameters or addition of two parameters, three parameters, anything. I would like to have any number. Okay, I can have any number. I want to have any number of parameters. So this is possible with the help of the parameters. Now what happened? It is an error. Now I should able to take any number of parameters. Now I can say like this, params. Okay, integer of items. Now params is ready to take any number of arguments. Now all these are going to params. I want to display the elements. I can say for okay integer I equal to 0, I less than, I can say items dot length. Now we'll be getting all items. Let's see, I have an integer sum is equal to 0. Now I'll say sum plus is equal to items of I. Okay. Now finally what I'm doing is return sum. Now your function is ready to store any number of arguments. So in order to make your function to store any number of arguments, then you have a params. Let's say this example, params. I didn't give any example. I didn't ask. Okay. So what I can say is CW. Right. Okay. So copy this CW. Okay. Copy this. Now you can ready to store any number of arguments. You can ready to store any number of arguments. This is called as params. A function can have any number of arguments called as params. Okay. Now I can show you one more example on params. See here. I have here. So string A is equal to 1, string B is equal to 2, like this. I can have any number of things. String C is equal to 3. Now I can say string X is equal to string dot, I can say something called concat C. I can say A comma B comma C comma any number of I can give. So you can understand that string concat contains, this contains a parameter called as params. Am I clear? So concat contains method definition called params. So you can understand that. I'll write note. Okay. String dot concat, okay, is a method contains, okay, params parameter. Am I clear? String dot, okay, concat contains params parameter. So that is what exactly a parameter is. So a method can have 4 different type of parameters. Okay, value parameter, rough parameter, out parameter, and params parameter. Okay, let's see this example. Right? And access modifiers. One second. Access modifiers. Where did I get the access modifiers? 1 second. We'll see. Yeah. See here. Whenever you're talking about a class, okay, a class contains something called as a members. Okay, so the members in the class can be function or a variable. So a variable inside a class can be of any one of the access modifier. Okay, so access modifiers is used to specify the scope of members in the type. Okay, it is used to specify the accessibility of the data member function that exists inside a class or inside any type. The scope depends upon the access modifier. See, any content existing in the class will be accessible with its access modifiers only. There are different type of access modifiers: private, public, protected, internal, and protected internal. These are the 5 different types of access modifiers which are available in the types. Example, here private. When you specify anything in the private is available inside the existing type only. What I mean to say, if you declare a private variable, the variable is accessible in the class itself. Public, it is accessible inside the class and outside of the class. There is no restriction. Protected, it is accessible in the same class and it is accessible in all derived classes. Okay, so what do you mean by derived classes? Okay, so you know the basic concept of OOPs. Okay, any OOPs contains, okay, 4 features. What are these? Encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance. Am I clear? These are the 4 features of OOPs. Okay, what are the 4 features? Encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance. So what do you mean by encapsulation? Simple. Wrapping of data and member functions into single unit. Single unit. So what is abstraction? Hiding data. Okay. What is polymorphism? Many ways, many methods to do one work. So what is inheritance? Acquiring the properties of base class to derived class. Properties of base class to derived class. So how inheritance will be happen? Using the protector. So protected in the sense, the member existing in this class is accessible in the same class and to all the derived types. Am I clear? In the same class as well as to all derived classes. Okay, and we have something called as internal. What is internal? Okay, the member existing in this is accessible in the containing assembly. So we have a concept called assembly. Assembly is a collection of classes. When you talk about internal, internal is accessible in the same assembly. All the classes in the same assembly are accessible using the internal. In the same way, we have one more thing called as protected internal. All types within the containing assembly and from with a derived type in the other assembly also. I have one class. The class is actually derived in another class. Even that is also possible with the help of protected internal. Okay, let's see the next one. So there are different types. I have already explained classes, interface structures, enumerated delegates. Okay, let's see the next one. Delegate will see that. Okay, enumerator type. How to declare this one? Enum will be given like this and will be executing this. Okay, structures we already discussed. Okay, structure example, date time. So there is another one called as a date time. What is a date time? Date time is also a structure where we can store the what will be called date and time, where we can also see the date and time. Let's see a small example. I want to display age of a person. Okay, so program to display here. Display age of a person. Okay, based on given date of birth. Let's see a small example. So how to do this one? First of all, we'll see declare a variable date time. Okay, how to declare a variable? Simple, date time. Example, today. How to get today's date is equal to date time contains some now. Okay, dot today. So you'll be or it's today. Date time dot today. How to display this today? You'll be writing today. So this is going to be displaying the current date. Am I clear with time? Now what is my question? I want to display. I want to take the input of date of birth. Okay, how to get the input of date of birth? Date time. Okay, DOB is equal to, think that today's my date of birth is something around MMDD/1. What is MMC? Example 9th September. Okay, sorry, 9th. September 19th around 1980. So I give it. But here what happens? Even it is a date, system doesn't know it's a date. It will treat like a string. So what we need to do is you need to have a conversion. So convert to date time. Now it was taken as a date time. Understand? So how to display today's date? Now your date of birth is this one and your today's date is this one. Okay, so I can say that your date of birth is this DOT. Am I clear? And today's date. Today date is today. Now you can get the example which will display today date and date. So date time is supported to show this one. Then how to find out the difference between two dates? There is something called as time span. So time span is a class where we can declare an object. Time span is a structure again, that's not a class. Okay, where we can get the difference between two dates. Okay, so here I'm writing something called what will be called age is equal to I can say today minus DOP. So we'll be getting the date between two dates. Okay, now how to get the age? CW, I can say CW. Okay, age dot days. So I'll be getting number of days. So my number of days of birth is 12,511. Then what is my age in years? Okay, so I can say this is my total days. Okay, so days is a date. Okay, how to get the age? Integer. Age is equal to day. I can say days by 365. So my age is this one. CW. As per this, age is, how to get the age? Age is this one. Let's execute this. I'll be getting ages. So once again, what happened to this? Cannot convert. Okay, so days is coming integer, converting to integer. Let's say this. Now what happened again? The problem is that once again you have to write days dot capital D, days dot days. Let's execute this. So my age is 34. Am I clear? My age is 34. Again, if you want to convert into decimal, so I'll take this one as a double. Okay, I can do this one as a double. So let's execute this. I'll be getting the age 34.2. Am I clear? How did I do it? Simple. I use two different structures, data types. One is date time, another one is time span. Okay, so this example is used to take date of birth as an input and display your age. Okay, display your age. Right. So the same example I given you. Next, coming to the next one, enumerator types, structures, etc. Everything you can see this. Okay, there is something called regular expression. Okay, so regular expression is one of the feature. It's not a rational subject. Regular expressions are used to find out the regular calculations. Okay, so for example, if you want to search something, you'll be using this regular expression. I given one example. See here in the string I given a message that is okay. Eat .NET sleep.NET is a message. Now what is my question is, I just want to know how many times .NET has been formed. Simple I used. Okay, for each match M. Match is one of the class where we can find out all the matches. Okay, there I'm asking how many. I'm asking you to iterate in the string, and I want to find out how many times .NET has been repeated. Same example. Okay, we'll see these sort of examples in future with a small example. Okay, regular expression. Next, convert class I already explained you. Okay, console class we explained, string class we explained. Okay, program to read a string and display the thing which we explained. String manipulations we've seen, hoops concepts. Okay, what are the hoops? Fundamentals of hoops. We have seen all these things, right? So directly we given some stories over here, why hoops are required, how to create an object, everything we have seen clearly. See here. So constructors. What is a constructor? Constructor is a method which is used to initialize the class methods. Okay. So generally constructors are called as a special methods which will be called because of two reasons. One is exists with same name of the class, and next one is invokes implicitly. Then why do we need constructor? Constructor is used to initialize the class members. For example, when you create an email ID, you will be getting a welcome message. Who will send a welcome message? Constructor will send you the welcome message. Am I clear? For example, if you take a mobile phone, once it is activated, who will send you the message? Constructor will send you the message. So constructor is responsible for doing the initial manipulations. Okay. So constructor example I given. I took an email ID where I am taking customer ID and customer name. This will be taken in the parameter. While taking an object, I am taking this to as a parameter. Right? So destructor. So destructor is a feature again available in the .NET C#. Okay, which is used to release the memory. Okay, when you have any manipulation, the memory in the object can be released with the help of the destructor. Cleanup statements, database connection statements, file closure statements, etc. will be available in the destructor. So destructor example I given some example, demo I give an example. Okay, next same employee name in the some constructor questions are there, and oops concepts, encapsulation, abstraction. Okay. So everything you could be able to see this. Okay, inheritance. Inheritance is a feature of hoops. Use it for extendability, reusability with extendability. Okay, so you can see an example for the inheritance that Windows 8 operating system is an inheritance of Windows 7. Okay, new model bike is an inheritance of old model bike. Okay, so you can understand single inheritance. Parent to child is single inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Grandparent, okay, father, son. Okay, so hierarchical. One father can have multiple children. Okay. What about this multiple inheritance? Does a multiple inheritance support? No. Multiple inheritance support only with interface. We don't have any what will be called multiple inheritance directly with the classes. Okay. Let's see the example. See here how to do a single inheritance. Here is an example I given like this. What is my example? Number class inheriting from numbers class. Okay. Numbers class inheriting from numbers. Whereas in the public class, in the base class I have number 1. Okay, in the base class I have number 1, in the derived class number 2. Okay, so base class can access only the number 1, whereas derived class can access the number 1 and number 2. Same thing was given here, if you are able to see this. This is single inheritance. Next one, let me check any questions. No questions. Okay. You want to discuss, you want enum, right? Let's complete this and I'll repeat the enum. Okay. So Ish, give us some time. Why? Because it's in the middle, right? Let's complete this, then I'll explain you the enum. So polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Many ways to do one work. Many ways to do one work. Okay. So any what will be called example for the polymorphism, I can say that. Okay. Many ways to do one work. I can say sending email. Okay, you can do it in 3 ways. Compose, you can say reply, you can say forward. Finally, what's happening? Sending an email, right? So this is the polymorphism. What I mean to say, many ways to do one work called as polymorphism. Okay, many ways. Okay, right. I have a set number without a parameter. I have a set number with parameter. So you can say it's a polymorphism. Okay, many ways to do one work. Questions, same examples. Abstract classes. See, a class in a .NET can be like this. Okay, a class can be below. First one, you can have a simple class. You can have abstract class. You can have interface. You can have sealed class. You can have something called abstract class, sealed class, static class. You can have partial class. Okay, many things are. A class can be any one of these. Okay, so before starting this class, let's clarify the Suresh doubt. Suresh want to know about the enum. Okay, so what is an enum? Okay, enum is a type in .NET used to create set of constants. Am I clear? You can have any number of constants. Okay, you can say the syntax like this. Okay, I want to have set of constants. What is enum is asking? Enumerator type. Okay, I can have some constants like male, female. Okay, I can say married, unmarried. Okay, widowed. Okay, divorced, etc. I can have, this is the enum. Enum is a set of constants where we can have multiple contents. I can say Saturday, Sunday, etc. Monday, like this. I can have anything. Jan, Feb. I can say anything. Okay. So we are in the 139, but we'll go for the enum once again. Right. So generally enum will be created like this. Okay. Enum stands for enumerator type. Enum is used to provide set of constants. Okay. So I can say gender equal to male, female, match, etc. This sort of thing can be given using enum. Okay. Let's say this. I can give like this. Enum martial status. I can give some group of constants like this. Married equal to 1, unmarried equal to 2, widow equal to 3, divorce equal to 4. Now what I can do is in my program, instead of using 1, 2, 3, 4, I can use married, unmarried. So these keywords are allowed in my program when we have the enum. Okay, Suresh, it's clear now? Suresh, clear? Clear about enum? Suresh, tell me Suresh.
Yes, Kiran, I understood the concept, but I'm just wondering what is if we write a console.writeln saying Martial status.divorce,
You will be getting the numeric value.
in what way that would be information to the user?
Yeah, the general value. Let's come on to the next one. We are in 137, right? So we have seen what is an inheritance, why do we need an inheritance, okay? Without inheritance we cannot do anything. So inheritance is very, very important. You can say that your father properties you can utilize in the form of inheritance. Your father business you can do it, okay? Let's come to the abstract class. What is an abstract class? This is very, very important for freshers here. For experienced people might be, you know. Abstract classes are called as partial implemented classes. What do you mean by partial implemented classes? These classes must implement in the derivatives. Somewhere it should be implemented. Those type of classes called as a partial implemented classes. Okay. So abstract classes contains both abstract methods as well as concrete methods. Abstract methods are unimplemented. Concrete methods are implemented. Okay. So for example, I have a business. I want to grow the business in another branch. So when you go for another branch, what I'll do is I'll do some business and I'll ask my people to do the remaining business. That sort of scenarios will be using the abstract classes. Abstract classes are used for what will be called partial implementation. And do remember that abstract classes will not allow for instantiation. So here I am giving my abstract class is the name of the class, and I have two methods. One is display1, another one is display2. So display1 method has not been implemented. Display2 method has been implemented. So who will implement this? In the derivative class, using the override keyword, we have to implement that. This is called as abstract. Okay. So one more doubt. Let's start. Who's that? Doubt. Question. Who's that? Suresh. Suresh, you have one more question? Suresh? Any other question?
No, I didn't ask any question.
Okay.
No.
Okay, Manish. Okay. Let's come to the next one. So abstract classes are the classes which are partially implemented. So how to implement the abstract method? Using the override keyword. Override keyword is used to override the base class method. So what is interface? Interface is a class which contains only the unimplemented method. No implementation, zero implementation. So interface are called as contracts. Okay, interfaces are called as contracts. Interface called as contract. So here when you go for any place contract, they'll tell you the requirement, that's it. If they give the requirement, you have to implement. So zero implementation from the source. That is called as interface. So interface contains only the method specification, but should not contain any implementation. Methods in the interface should not prefix any keyword. Why? Because it's already unimplemented. You need to override. Okay. Next one. Interface support multiple inheritances. Interface are by default abstractors. No concrete methods in the interface. Interface should not contain any field members where we can have some properties. Interface examples here. I have I calculation. When you talk about I calculation 1, it's having some addition. I calculation 2, I have a subtraction. When you go for a calculation class, I can derive my calculation from calculation 1, calculation 2. So we have to implement this. Called as interface. Interface is a class which contains only the abstract methods. Okay, so same thing. Let's see the next one. Okay. This, hope you understand the basic concepts of hoops and syntaxes of hoops, right? Okay. Now, any other questions, Mr. Suresh, Abhineet, Karthik, and Ravi?
The interface cannot have the field definitions or
Yes.
the actual methods, right? Everything is abstract.
Yes, must be implemented, right? Interface is a contract. That's a contract. Here you want to construct a building. You are giving the contract to someone else. You will tell only your requirement, that's it. The implementation will be done by the contractor. Whereas contractor is your inherited class. Understand?
Okay. What does properties mean here? It says
yeah, I'm not explaining the properties concept here. See, properties, for example, you have a bank balance, right? So your bank balance internally exists with balance keyword, but you'll be exposing something called as a bal. Okay, original value in the class can be exposed to some other name called as property. Okay, I can tell you a small example here. See here, I have a class bank account. Okay, in my bank account class, I have something called as a integer balance. Are you able to see this? Now I want to expose this one with a name called as a bal. Am I clear? So this is called as property. Am I clear?
okay.
Yeah. You may ask a question, why do we need? Both are same. Both are 100% different. How? I'll tell you. See here, for example, now what is my question is, through this program, my balance can be accessible using the bal keyword. Okay. Since I have a set and get properties, I can do it. For example, when you go for a bank account, okay, so bank account, anyone can deposit amount into my account. Am I correct or not? So I'll tell you a small example. Suresh can deposit, okay, Suresh can deposit amount into Karthik account. Is it possible or not? Yes, 100% possible. Am I correct or not?
No, I'm not depositing anything into Karthik's account.
Definitely will deposit, I'll ask you. Okay. Now my question is, can Suresh view the Karthik account, Karthik balance?
No.
Is it possible or not? No. This is possible. This is not possible. How? Using properties. Now they'll give the set feature. They'll remove the get feature. Now what happened? You can set it. You can update. Am I clear? So limitations is possible using the properties. Am I clear?
Okay.
So how do we use the set one bank account?
Here, I can use anything. I can use anything. See, for example, I can say that bank account. Okay. So A1 is equal to new bank account. Okay. Now I can say that some other method is there. A2 dot deposit. I can say A2 dot something regular method. I can say deposit. Okay. A2. I can give 200. It is acceptable. Why? Because this is a property. I need to write a definition which accepts this property. Or else I can say that A1 dot, okay, balance is equal to A1 dot balance plus 500. I can do it. It is possible. This is possible. Why? Because we have a set property. For example, if you say console dot right line A dot bal, it's an error. Am I clear? Understand or not? So you can limit the access. You can limit the access using the setters and getters. Am I clear?